You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 230 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing better than Drake Calendar. That's for sure.
Oh, no, that's not already. I said it. I tweeted it out. I said, tonight, if he lets one through, people are going to be saying, let's get Dos Santos back in there. 100%.
I'm feeling better than he is. That's for sure.
Well, we'll get into it. I wouldn't blame him, but whatever. We'll get into that and a lot more. I already see the blame game starting, right? I see a lot of people blaming Kristoff. You know what? There's a few people I thought didn't play very well. There's others that played. They had their moments. I guess I could say it that way.
I just want to preface this starting by saying, guys, you're looking at the wrong thing. It wasn't Kristoff's fault. He's literally the only one that approached to clear that, right? And it literally went in right next to Calendar.
No, Calendar had no chance at that.
Let's go ahead and we'll dive into that.
Right.
I mean, you guys are going way too quick at freaking Kristoff. Come on.
All right.
So lazy.
So let's get started. So first, going into this game, we knew that it wasn't going to be very exciting because, I mean, not that it wouldn't be a good game, but we knew we were already onto the knockout rounds. We knew they were. Yeah. We knew that we're going to play either Toronto or Pachuca. So whoever wins today, ended up being Tigres, won today, is going to play the loser of tomorrow's Toronto's game against Pachuca.
Pachuca, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now we know that we're going to play whoever wins tomorrow. If I'm you guys, I'm saying let's root for Toronto because I feel like Toronto's the easier path. Yeah. And just so you guys know, we have a very good chance of meeting up with Tigres again in 2 games. If we win again, if we beat Toronto or Pachuca, and then we win the following game, which would be, I think, Columbus. I have to go back and look at the bracket. We'd end up against Tigres because I would assume Tigres are going to make it pretty far also. So there's a good chance that we have another shot at these guys. Yeah, so we have another shot at playing these guys.
Yeah, they mentioned it in the broadcast that there's a possibility we might be facing Tigres later on, which, listen, it's a little problematic, man.
We'll be in the quarterfinals, I believe.
Yeah, they played very well. Our defense was awful today. Awful. Absolutely dreadful. And
really? You thought that it was dreadful? Okay.
I thought our defense was dreadful, dude. The first goal was literally on the center backs, on Aviles specifically, right? I mean, everybody wants
before
to
we get into it.
Look, let's go ahead and we'll go through
Let's go in order. Let's go in our
rundown.
Yeah, let's go in order. All right, so starting 11. Now, this is the way it was presented to us. This is not what we ended up seeing, but this is how it was originally presented to us.
Yes.
Thank you, Apple TV and everybody, because you made me waste my time making this. This is not what we ended up seeing.
No.
Now, there's 2 versions of what I thought I saw. The first one being 4-3-3, but I thought it was Rojas up top at the right wing, Gressel left mid, and Redondo right mid. Is that what you felt you saw most of the game?
Well, I felt like exactly.
And in the chat, you can please jump in.
The way that you have it right there is more so like how it was. Gressel, okay. I feel bad for him because if he would have been at right wing today, we would have won the game.
He definitely brings a lot more, even though Rojas had his moments also, but I think he does perform much better.
Rojas had his moments? You thought he was good today?
I thought he had his moments. I thought he gave Campana a couple opportunities. The hold-up play that he had. Look, we're jumping ahead again, Chris. What the hell? All right. So, do you feel this was the lineup? Because I felt like there was a moment where I felt like it was a 4-1-4-1. I felt like it was Campana by himself up top. And then I felt like it was just Bright by himself. And then like a line of 4 ahead of him. Taylor, Gressel, Redondo, and Rojas. At times, I wasn't sure who was up top, who was in the middle. I felt like all 4 of them were just in the midfield, and then Campana was the lone striker. So I felt like I saw a lot of this also.
Well, the way that Google has it is that they were in a 4-1-4-1. That's the way that they had it projected.
Okay, so this is kind of like what I just put up here.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the way that they projected it.
Real quick, yes, we are through. I guess Mez just jumped in. Yes, we are into the knockout stage. On Thursday, we will be hosting either Toronto or Pachuca. Whoever loses tomorrow between Toronto and Pachuca is who we will be hosting on Thursday. So this is kind of what I felt like I was seeing often. I felt like it was just Campana by himself up top, and then Rojas and Taylor had the freedom to just push up, obviously, when they saw the space. But for the most part, they were in the midfield. All right, but I see a lot of people are saying, or some people are saying 4-3-3. I really wasn't sure, but let's stick with this one just to be safe, because I felt like this is what we're most accustomed to. So we'll just leave it like this.
More accurately, I guess, Campana at the top, Taylor to his left, Rojas to his right, unfortunately. Gressel playing left mid, Redondo playing right mid, Bright playing center defensive midfielder, and then Alba left back, Weigant right back, and then Aviles and Martinez center back with Drake Callender in between the pipes.
And Tony actually saying what the graphic that I just put up with the 5 in the midfield, he felt like when we were on defense, that's what we were doing, and just leaving Campana up by himself, which is very common, right? Offensive, defensively, you kind of switch up the tactics.
I felt like when the moment that I saw this, I didn't like the fact that Gressel was playing like a left mid. And that's without seeing the starting graphic. Playing left mid, like not only are you putting him at midfield where you know that he's not as useful as being a winger, but then you're taking Rojas, who's a left-footed player, to the right. I don't know if they thought that he was going to be like a baby Messi or something.
Yeah, because he works it into his left.
Correct. But that's the only thing I could think of. I mean, but again, you're dismissing Gressel in the midfield where, dude, he's been striking. Like he's been on fire these last 8-9 games. And you're going to put Gressel in the left mid? I mean, look, I understand Gressel tries his best to do what he can for the team. Totally understand that. It's a team sport. But this game, you can clearly see that Gressel's presence at the right wing was completely missed.
The thing is, I think Rojas looks really bad in the midfield. I think Rojas might look worse than Gressel does in the midfield. And that's why I felt like he might have put Rojas up in a more attacking role. Because I think that Rojas completely disappears when he's in the midfield. Were you surprised that Busi didn't start?
You know, I honestly wasn't. I'll tell you what I thought. The moment that I saw that Busquets didn't start, I said, they're not even looking at this game. They're looking past this game. They don't care who they play. That's what I thought.
I'm going to put a comment up for you. You ready?
Sure. So Love Logic says it's not the end of the world, and Rojas was the best player for Miami, and Taylor needs to go. Even though Love Logic, Taylor is one of the only players that was on that pitch that was surging any sort of offensive attack. And you're going to sit there and say that Rojas was the best player for Miami today? He wasn't even like the third or fourth best player of Miami today.
Well, I decided to get on FootMob.
You can get on there, whatever they ranked him. Right. 2.0 lower than him, that guy. I mean, this guy, Love Logic. Get out of here.
I decided to get on here because I was curious. I wanted to see what their lineup was. Their lineup was 4-3-3 also, but it has Gressel up at the right wing. So they're not very accurate. But they gave grades. Who do you think was the lowest graded player? By far.
But the lowest rated player out of the starters?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you it was either Rojas or Aviles.
It was Robert Taylor, by far. He was a 5.5.
What?
Yeah. So there you go.
I mean, these people hate. They hate Finnish people, dude. I don't think Taylor played awful, dude.
But he didn't do much though.
He didn't do much. Rojas didn't do much. Aviles didn't do much.
I thought, like I told you, I thought Rojas had some good moments. That first goal, the only goal, I felt without his hold-up play, it doesn't happen.
I think that he playing right wing is no bueno. I think that if you would have put Gressel there, we would have been able to put more goals up.
And Bright was Bright conversation.
Yeah. I mean,
we're gonna have to have an in-depth conversation about Bright this week.
Like, I'm not even. As you guys could tell, I don't even want to touch the chat right now, guys. I'm mad at the chat. I'm mad at you guys.
All right. Well, we're gonna have an in-depth conversation about Bright.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe Monday or Tuesday or something, because we need to address this Bright situation because he is playing very well, and we're gonna have to figure out this whole when everybody's healthy thing because Bright needs to stay on. But whatever, we'll have that conversation later this week.
Yes.
All right, so Chris, go ahead, do your rundown.
So I mean, we looked at the players, right? And then when it came to the first half, I mean, do we just want to touch the main points where these guys were playing freaking soccer volleyball with their heads? I mean, do we just want to get there? Because before,
how did you think the game started?
So the game started where, I mean, look, Tigres had full control, dude. Held us right by the balls. Like they had full control. We had no control of the game. So,
and shout out to Peaches. I had a really cool conversation with Peaches earlier today about the EPL. If you guys aren't a part of the Discord, you should really join. We had a really cool conversation earlier. So shout out to you, Peaches, and thank you for the super slam. Rojas played better than Taylor. Don't hate the chat.
Okay, I'm not gonna hate the chat, Peaches, because you were nice about it, and other people are telling me to not hate the chat. I'm not gonna hate the chat. Does it have to do with me making a $5 bet that Robert Taylor would have scored a goal? Maybe. That might make a little bit of a difference.
Let me tell you something. Chris has put that bet like 3 weeks in a row. Just stop betting on him. You're probably jinxing him.
I probably am. I think ever since I've been putting $5 bets on him to score, I've just lost five. I mean, there's it's the price of a scratch off, so I'm okay with that.
Well, I love Robert Taylor. I like him more than I like. Okay, I'll put the Discord link right now. I like him more than I like Matias Rojas. Okay, so let me preface this by saying this. But today, Matias Rojas had a better game. I would still rather have Gressel at the right wing than Matias Rojas.
I think everybody had a dog shit game. Dennis Lopez is saying the CBs played like dog shit. I think most of the starters played like dog shit. Aside from like 2 or 3.
Okay, can I tell you who? No, keep going. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
So okay. So starting with the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, they had full control. Had full control. There was no, for some reason, we were on defense like crazy, right? We just couldn't be able to surge any sort of, I don't know, collective passes where it was just organized.
Just real quick, we have over 100 people on here, and we have like 3 likes. Come on, guys.
Come on.
Help us out here.
Come on. And you guys don't want me to hate the chat? You guys want me to hate the chat? There's 3 people that liked it. And I probably know the 3 people.
I just
take your thumb.
I just put the link for the Discord. If anybody's not part of the Discord already, go ahead, jump in. During the game, we usually have like our own podcast because there's so many conversations going back and forth about the game. So it's really cool. So go ahead.
Wait, Danny. Danny made 1, 2, 3 graphics. He made equal amount of graphics than thumbs hit a thumb. Come on, guys. It probably took him like 45 minutes for that. Yeah, shout out to you, Amanda.
All right,
shout out to you guys in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. But like, I think that everything was just trash today, except for like a couple of people. But we'll probably get through it. Like I said, we weren't able to string very good passes earlier in the game. I did like a little bit of how Redondo played.
Wow, that's who I thought had the worst game.
I didn't think that he had a terrible game. I think that him and Bright, I feel like he always tried to come back, Redondo, a little too much. And I didn't like that. I like Bright back further, and I like Redondo a little further up.
Shout out to SoFlo Soccer. SoFlo, I'm not sure if you're the one that has a YouTube channel, but I believe I recognize that name. I saw a channel for the first time the other day that was called SoFlo Soccer. And if it wasn't you, I'm promoting somebody else randomly. And if it was you, check them out. I thought it was pretty cool. So go ahead. I thought that Redondo did not have a very good game. I thought Campana didn't have a good game. He had a good 10 minutes where he just, I don't know what the fuck happened. Saucing. I know. And then Leo Alfonso ruined it for him. Redondo had a chance to save that play, also ruined it. But that would have been the highlight of his Inter Miami career. So
Vice City Lucas is chiming in with a super slam, brother. how much I gotta donate to get both y'all in the North Stand. Leave the kids with the wives. Come party for one game this season. Let's make it happen.
Well, a
I'm
couple
down for
things.
that.
Yeah, all right. So a couple things, Vice City, Lucas, and we're gonna get back to the game right quick. Let me just address this. We were gonna do it. Was it 2 weeks ago? I forgot what game it was, but we were gonna do it. One, when I go over there, it's hard to walk up the stairs because it seems like it's not like hey, I'm gonna sit down. It's like let's just like all just hang out, which is really cool. But I'm not leaving my wife behind. My wife is now 9 months pregnant, so I can't just abandon her. And I'm not also gonna take her to try to figure out how to navigate our way up those stairs. So maybe at some point next season, Lucas. But this season for me personally, it's a no-go. I don't know about for Chris,
I might
but
be
yeah,
out there.
it's a party for sure. But it's a party that you have
Yes.
to navigate through because the staircases and everything are pretty wild and tight.
Listen, my mother-in-law was out there smacking butts of people standing on the
The last time we went, yeah.
Yeah, the last time we went. I mean, it was a blast. So
Yeah.
And again, like I was saying, look, I thought that for the most part we didn't play that great. I felt like we weren't stringing passes very well. I feel like we were on defense most of the time. There was a lot of bad passes being made. I don't know what else to say. I mean, other than getting to the stupid goal that they made with the freaking head volleyball.
Well,
I mean, that was within the first 20 minutes.
Right before you get into that, the two things we've said all season long is that we have two weaknesses, right? We play a very high line with slow center backs. Today, David Martinez isn't the fastest guy, but he's not as slow as Christoph. That could have been an issue, right? It had its moments, but it wasn't the biggest issue.
Yeah.
And the other issue that we consistently have is when we get pressed high, because we don't handle the press very well. And there's one player in particular that we always say is the absolute worst. Christoph handles the pressure just fine. Calendar, I don't think it was as bad under pressure. Alba, is a G. Weigand wasn't that bad either. There's one player that we always say cannot handle the pressure ever. Like, how I always ask the opposing team on the preview shows, like, hey, if you're going to whisper in Tata's ear, what are you going to say to like win? If I was the opposing team and I was talking to their manager, I'd say, hey, you don't have to press high the whole game, but whenever Toto Aviles touches the ball, you
run after him
three
with
players,
people.
3 players, one at the ball, 2 flank to kill his options, and he's going to turn it over. That's what I would tell the opposing manager, because it feels like he just can't handle it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So and that was the issue today. That clearance, that was a horrible clearance. He could have cleared the ball, but he kind of just passed it to the top of the 18, but with nobody waiting for it. I don't know what he was thinking. And honestly, although it was technically a nice goal, I don't think that even that guy thought it was going to go in. I think he was just kicking it in the air, hope to see what happened.
But the problem is that they had way too much space. Like, for them to be able to play the ball that way off of their head, I think 2 to 3 times, and then to be able to confidently collect that ball mid-air with the space that you have, if you just give it, I mean, that was perfect, right? Somebody mentioned that it was luck, but beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. But at the end of the day, if they would have, if Aviles would have ran up and pressured the attacker instead of allowing him to have this space to be able to sort of chip it over, then that would have never happened. He would have just had the ball, drop it down, collect it, and pass it right back to the center fielder, to the center mid, or to the midfielder, to the defender, and that goal would have never happened.
Oh, yeah. Now, I know you said when I was telling you who's horrible under pressure, you threw out Drake. Now, I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I was wrong, but I thought if Drake gives up 1 or 2 goals today, everybody's going to kill Drake, and they're going to be like, let's get Dos Santos in there. How did you feel about Drake? And I'm asking the chat also, because I'm surprised that nobody's throwing it out there.
I thought, well, I mean, I guess we'll talk a little bit about it in the second goal. You clearly can see that the team was willing to press when the ball was going to him. I think if
Crystal, and the ball was going to everybody though.
I think if Dos Santos was back there, it'd be all kinds of little salsa merengue kind of stuff. It wouldn't have been going down like that.
And real quick, I'm not downplaying him. I know this guy. I think he was like Player of the Year last year in Mexico. Like I know he's good, but the way he kind of just lobbed it up there.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe he was going for goal. I think he was just trying to make a play. I don't know. Yeah, I give him credit, but I don't know if I think he might have even been surprised that went in.
I think
But
again, Danny, again, considering the space that he had, how can you not be able to take that split couple seconds and evaluate? I have all this space in front of me. No one's attacking me. The goalie's pushed up a little bit. I think if I can make this chip, I can get it behind him. What's the worst that can happen? You get it off post. It still stays in play. But
right, that's not an easy shot to make. And all the credit to him because he got it in. I'm just saying, like, that's one of those things that you like, let me just try it, see if it goes in. And it went in. So I'm not saying that I don't give him credit. It was obviously, and he's a good player. I get it. I'm just saying, I think he might have just thrown it up there and just Hail Mary. Let's see if it goes in by some chance.
I want to mention this real quick. There's two comments that just came in. Bang, bang. I thought that they were really good, right? Okay. Tony Axe is saying, can't blame Drake for the goals. They were great strikes off poor clearances. The 100%. The first one, I agree with. The first one, I agree with.
I agree with both.
The second one, I don't agree with. Okay. The second one,
Before we get into that,
and go ahead, because
I was going to say
next one.
Go ahead.
The next one has also to do with Calendar and Dos Santos. Ash is saying for a meaningless game, Dos Santos should have started. I also agree with this. If you're going to give Dos Santos last game, give him this game too.
No, you know why I wouldn't do that? Look, there's two sides to this, so it's hard for me to say one way or the other because I can see two good reasons for each.
Yeah.
One, I don't think you can give Drake 2, maybe even more than 2 weeks off at that point, and then throw him into a knockout game. Yeah. Right. I think it's good that he got back on the pitch today before he has a big time game on Thursday, right? 5 days later.
Makes sense.
Right. Instead of giving him 2.5 weeks off and then like, all right, boom, knockout game. So on that aspect, I'm glad that they gave it to Drake. Now, why would I have liked to see Dos Santos today? I would have liked to see him today because what I saw in that Puebla game, I don't think he was tested. I know you guys were like, oh, he's salsa dancing. Like, okay, I think you were overdoing it. I don't think he showed me anything out of this world. But today, if he would have looked good with his feet and distributing with all the pressure that Tigres were doing, then I would have been like, okay, maybe we got something with Dos Santos. So I think today would have been a good day to see what we have with Dos Santos. So I see both sides. I could see why you would start Drake. I could also see why you would start Dos Santos. I'm happy that they started Drake because that's who I want to start. But if they would have started Dos Santos, I think we'd at least have seen what we have in them.
Well, and this is a great comment by Vice City Lucas. Do y'all think Tata keeps Drake next week? He absolutely has to.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no way he's gonna be pancake flipping goalies at this point. That would be the worst move. And obviously, there's people that are questioning Tata's decision making this game, which I think for sure everyone has the right to, because the placement of some players were awful.
And Bigote was saying that I was doing the bachata.
Yeah. Well, no, that's what. No, he's saying
I was doing the bachata, not the salsa.
Oh, I thought he was saying like that. CJ Dos Santos was doing the bachata, not salsa.
Oh, okay.
I think that. Look, the second goal. I think that, and we'll get to the second goal. So,
Batterfans.com.
Later on in the game, as we progress through the first half, there's a couple yellow cards that are tossed out. 2 people from Tigres gets yellow cards. Matias Rojas gets a yellow card. Campana gets a yellow card. Now, there was a play that I remember seeing in the first half where I really thought that, I don't know if it's me, but this ref was a little flexible with Tigres. I don't know if that's out of line, but I feel like Tigres were playing really aggressive and he allowed some things to sort of slip in the first half. In the second half, I think they let them play.
Campana bust one of them open? Was it Campana?
He did. Yes, he did. Yeah, with the left elbow when he was
Yeah,
boxing
so
him out.
I have no problems with the ref today. Maybe the chat disagrees, but I have absolutely no problems with the ref today.
And Bigote said it was not you, Danny. It was
Oh,
Dos
okay,
Santos. Yeah.
all right.
So were you
Um,
shook? Were you shook in the first half?
no, I didn't. I wasn't part of the preview show, but I've been telling you for 2 or 3 weeks now that I didn't think we were going to win this game. And if I would have given a
Mm,
prediction, I would have said 2-1, a loss, because I didn't think we would win today. Now, after watching the game, I think we had more of an opportunity, and I am not worried about playing them again. If we play them again, I think we can beat them with the healthy Suarez, with Busquets starting, like with the real lineup. Diego Gomez is going to be back. They got eliminated by Egypt in the Olympics, so he'll be back for hopefully Thursday. And if we play the
yeah.
Tigres again, he'll be back. I am no longer scared of Tigres after what I saw today. All right, so I think we can beat them. Am I saying we're going to beat them? No, but I thought that the disparity would be so huge, but it wasn't as much as I expected. But I did think that we would lose today anyway.
And look, Vice City Lucas is saying Tigres did not play that good, to be honest. I don't think that they played great. I don't. I
They
think
didn't
that
have
they crossed
their
really
best out
well.
there either to start, but they played, right? Gignac or whatever his name is, he ended up coming in, didn't he? He
Yes, he
came
did.
in and he had a slow dribbler to Drake when he had an open shot. Like
Yes.
they played. They didn't play the whole game. We literally didn't have Diego Gomez. We literally didn't have Luis Suarez. We literally don't have Lionel Messi. Like
Yeah.
I don't think Messi would play if we play them again. I don't think he'll be back by then. But I think that I feel better.
And then Ace Lano is saying there was a high kick and no card was shown against
There was
Tigres.
a there
I do
was a
remember that
play
play.
on Rojas where I felt like the defender kind of fell or dragged his back foot and Rojas fell. I thought they should have at least looked at that. I don't think they looked at it. But
Yeah.
that could have been a penalty in the first half.
A lot of people want to talk about Chelo. We got Frey over Chelo from Hoffmat. And Bigote is saying also the same thing.
Miami, in order to get to Tigres again, would have to probably be Columbus. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people are mentioning from that same play you mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
he drug him down. And Amanda Waltz is saying the high kick, no call was bullshit.
I can't remember that play.
No, I mean, I remember that for sure. And shout out to Scott.
Shout out to Scott from Dallas. What did I say?
Yeah,
Oh.
Scott from Dallas and Twang from LA.
Drink some mas.
Are you no? Let's get the real question started. Are you sponsored by Mas? Because you've been.
I would love to try. I would love to try to get sponsored by Mas, but you know why I can't? Because you haven't just said that you don't like it. Because if you were to say you don't like it, it would probably be acceptable. The fact that you cussed them out for no reason, and the foul language and the things that you've called them, there's absolutely no opportunity to ever get a sponsorship from us.
How about you make a better drink with all that money? Yellow card for you guys, Mas.
So yeah.
Plus.
So no, there's
How
no
about
sponsorship
Mas
here
minus?
because Chris has made it
Manos.
impossible to ever get a sponsorship from us.
Make a better drink. And you know what, Mr. Krabs? Yeah, I'm trying to get sponsored by Chris Plus, but it tastes like nothing. It tastes better than that Mas Menos crap.
No. All right. So first half, how are you feeling? How are you feeling at half?
At the half, I'm not gonna lie. In terms of the game, right? The outcome it doesn't matter because we're still moving forward. But in terms of the game, I was nervous. It really you could really tell, man. I mean, the game, like I said, you had Gressel playing left mid. You had Matias Rojas at that point. I said they got to come out in the half and they got to put Gressel on the right, and they didn't. He literally like cemented himself in the ground and said, "We're gonna keep Gressel where he's at. We're gonna stay forward."
But Rojas didn't play that bad at right wing. I think Gressel plays better there, but Rojas wasn't playing poorly there.
I think that Gressel would have played better than Rojas played there. At me.
Okay. All right, that's fine. But then what are we doing with the left mid?
With the left mid, you throw Matias Rojas in there or get him out and put in freaking David Ruiz. Let him go get a yellow card.
He didn't get any cards today.
Shout out to but that's
Ruiz.
Because shout out to David Ruiz. But I wanted to see him thug it out a little bit. Vicente Lucas saying don't buy the orange flavor. It's awful. I mean, that's one of them.
That's actually my favorite one.
Oh my God. What? Yeah. You don't like bacon? You don't eat shrimp? And you like that orange crap? It's the worst.
The orange is my favorite. Then it's the Miami Punch. Then it's this one, the Limon Lime. And the blue one, I actually haven't tasted the blue one since we did our little tasting thing. So I haven't tasted that one a second time. I'm going to have to try. I actually have a couple cans in the fridge. I have to try them maybe next episode.
That can that you have, is that like the Red Bull version of that drink?
No, it's
or is that like the same drink?
The same exact drink.
So it's the same drink.
Just 12 ounces.
So now it tastes more, basically, since you can't close it, now it's not as fresh. So now you're drinking not fresh garbage.
Just opened it.
But now it's less fresh than when you opened it the first time. If you had a bottle, you could have closed it and kept the freshness inside.
But it's only 12 ounces. Who doesn't drink 12 ounces at one sitting?
Yeah, but look at how long it's going to take you to drink 12 ounces. If you would have had
That's why I do it.
You would have encapsulated the freshness.
All right. First half, you said you felt pretty bad. I didn't think.
Awful.
No, they taste exactly the same out of both. I know some people say that the can tastes better. I think they taste exactly the same out of both. So it doesn't. I don't know. Don't buy Chris flavor. It tastes like. Optimus Prime is asking, did we win? No, we did not win, Optimus Prime.
No.
And we are going to open it up to calls towards the end of the show. For somebody, I thought somebody asked. Halftime, I thought that we were not looking good. I didn't have much hope. And what we ended up seeing about the 60-something minute mark is what I thought might happen. That we would try for the first 20 minutes or so to see if we can make it a game, tie the game. And if not, we would just concede. Let's just rest everybody for Thursday. And it kind of felt like that's what happened. But when we did that, we ended up scoring.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, but we scored off of a penalty.
Yeah, but it was a good chance created.
It was.
Matias Rojas hold up play. Then it was a way gone that did the overlapping run. He got the low cross in. And although it wasn't a crazy tug, it was still a tug. If Campana gets his foot to it, he should put that in the back of the net. So, and how did you feel when they said that there was a penalty kick? And then you start thinking, who's going to take it? I was like, it has to be Campana.
Of course, it's got to be Campana.
Were you worried at all?
I wasn't worried, but then when you started seeing the goalie do his little Debu shit with the whole trying to intimidate, and the thing is, our guest told us that he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
So the moment that I saw him standing there like a clown, I'm like, oh, this guy thinks he's him. And Campana said, dude, I look like a model. I just colored my hair. I'm good, bro.
I was worried.
He's been pretty effective in penalties.
El Bigote says, I wanted 100%. Calendar will rip a hole through the back of that net. I was very worried. I understood it had to be Campana. Although, I mean, for no other reason, who else would have taken it? And then he made it. And then he tied Higuain as the most goals in club history. So he has now 29 club goals, same as Higuain. So they're tied for first.
Yes.
And Messi, I have to check. I forgot how many Messi has, but Messi's not too far behind. Robert Taylor isn't too far behind.
Robert Taylor can catch both of them.
Mm-hmm. So, but that did worry me, and I felt like he got close to skying it. I don't even think he looked at the shot though.
No, it looked like he looked into the goalie's soul, is what he did. Because he probably saw the goalie talking all that garbage, and he's like, I'm gonna look you in your soul as I bury this in the back of the net.
Yeah, it was scary because it went right under the post. Like,
Yes.
That was well taken, but scary at the same time.
Yeah. And I like this comment by Dennis saying bring Higuain back. I really do like that comment. So now that was good though. We were finally able to generate some really good offense. Had a good cross. Campana put himself in a really good position, which finally we're starting to see him do that a little bit more often. Right? He's,
Mhm.
I guess, in the last two games. Well, in the last game before, he didn't really play too much, but this game, you could tell that he played okay. I mean, you said that you didn't think he played very well, but I don't think a lot of players played very well. To me, he played okay.
You say Campana?
Yeah.
Real quick, Messi has 25, so he's four
Mhm.
behind Higuain and Campana, and Robert Taylor has 16. So Robert Taylor has ways away. It's in the assist category that Robert Taylor is number one,
I'll
but
keep
goal wise,
putting
he's really far.
I'll keep putting bets up. Don't worry, he'll get there.
Dude, he has 16 goals in 103 games. I say you stop putting money on Robert Taylor.
I'm not doing that.
All right. Um, I thought that Campana was a ghost. I did not think he had a good game. I think after he scored that goal, his confidence went absolutely through the roof.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he started making great runs.
Mhm.
There was a ball that he took from his own side of the pitch and like by himself,
Just
as you would
sauced
say,
people.
salsa danced all the way up the field, and then he laid it off for Alfonso Campana with a beautiful pass with the outside of his foot kind of curved,
Amazing.
right? And then Alfonso's foot got stuck in the grass, I guess. Then he poked it to Redondo. Redondo should have taken it for first time,
Yes.
and he didn't. Laid it off over Matias Rojas. Defender got there, completely ruined it. But that play, that was a huge play, and it would have been a great look for Campana. But he played very well for those 10 minutes after he scored. After that, he disappeared again.
I don't like the fact that Redondo, whenever he looks like he has an opportunity, 9 out of 10 times he's really not looking to blast it. Like, you're right there, dude. What's the worst that's gonna happen if you just take a hack at that?
Yeah, I
You
agree.
know,
He should have.
the ball was played for him perfectly, literally deposited right in front of him as he's in stride. Instead of taking it in stride, he tries to collect it back and make a pass to the side for Rojas. And now I get trying to get the ball to Rojas because Rojas will blast it from anywhere on the pitch. But if you got it right there, dude, take it. Don't compromise somebody else's run or position. Bigote saying his dad would have shot it.
Well, his dad was an absolute monster, though.
Yeah.
You know what? Redondo hasn't looked good in the last couple of games.
Twice.
I still think that the midfield will be, and I said we're going to talk about this later this week. I still think that it's going to be Gomez, Redondo, and Busquets in the midfield when everybody's healthy. But the way Redondo's looked, kind of feel like putting Brighton over Redondo. But again, we'll talk about that this week, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna hack at that.
Oh,
So
all right.
I'll tell you,
Go ahead.
after we ended up getting that goal, Danny, I was super optimistic because then I thought that my other bet was gonna pan out, that we win. And that one didn't pan out because we ended up getting scored on later on
You know, they say you should
84th
never
minute.
bet on your team.
I don't care. It's like $3 bets. I would have won like $87 for a $3 bet. I made it.
How
at the
many
second
bets have you
half.
won? Because you just started doing this recently. How many bets have you won when betting on Inter Miami? You're a liar. You're a
What do
liar.
you mean?
None.
I'm trying to think. No, I haven't
None.
hit on one bet.
None.
No,
Yeah. Stop.
no, I'm not going. But I'm
You're
not going
jinxing
to.
us.
No, I'm not.
You haven't
I'm
won
not.
one bet.
But that's because I'm also doing parlays and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to make thousands and thousands of dollars. Make a $2-3 bet, like a 16 parlay, like a crackhead.
I saw somebody put that they put this game on Tata. Oh, there it is. Soccer Daddy. Soccer Daddy said that the game was on Tata. Do you feel like this game was Tata's fault, this loss?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Why?
I
Why?
do think it is because I feel like taking Gressel out of the right wing position after he's been hitting on all cylinders there was a huge, colossal mistake. You're bringing in Matias Rojas, who honestly has been inconsistent.
Yeah.
And you're going to throw him at probably one of our most key positions with one of our best crossers in the game.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate. Luis Suarez isn't starting.
Yeah.
Campana is. Campana, for the most part, this year hasn't been very good.
Okay.
So you need offense. You don't trust Campana. You need to put him up there because you need a striker, but you don't really trust Campana being that guy. Matias Rojas is a better finisher and probably can give you more in the attack as far as being aggressive attacking than Gressel.
Yeah.
Gressel will set other people up. But if he was
Yes.
looking for somebody to be aggressive and attack and try to get some shots on goal, there was a beautiful play where Matias Rojas made it to the touchline and then he like tried to curve it in instead of he should have passed it.
Yes.
But
yes.
that's how aggressive he is. He tried to like curve it in from a horrible position and from a horrible angle. But he is that aggressive guy. I agree. I would have preferred Gressel up there. But if that's what his thought process was, then I get it because Luis Suarez isn't there. You can't count on Campana. So if Gressel's just feeding Campana and Campana's not finishing, although Gressel is creating great opportunities, it's for nothing because Campana's not finishing him. So let's put somebody up there that can create for themselves and score for themselves. That's me playing devil's advocate.
And I don't think you're wrong because Matias Rojas is a person that has confidence and is willing to attack. He's skilled enough where he can handle the ball, right? But now let's flip that. If Gressel would have been on that end of the ball, go ahead.
Just real quick, I was saying Campana's inconsistent, not Matias Rojas.
Okay. I said that Matias Rojas was inconsistent.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. So now flip that though. Put Gressel in the same position where Rojas was with that same ball, and then put Rojas back because Gressel was the one that was waiting for Rojas to cross it, right? Gressel, who's a facilitator, would have crossed it over to a Matias Rojas, who would have been wide open, that would have blasted it through the net and to the moon.
Yeah, but
because he would have been wide open.
Rojas isn't really a midfielder. When he plays there, he disappears.
Yeah.
Look, and again, I'm not disagreeing with you. But I think that Matias Rojas can be put in the midfield. He disappears there. I would have preferred to see him at left wing if you were going to put him at the wing and leave Gressel at right wing. And then, unfortunately, put Robert Taylor on the bench if that's what you really want to do.
Yeah.
But I kind of get why putting him at the wing. I just hate that means that Gressel goes back to the midfield.
And look, as much as everybody thinks that I'm like in love with Robert Taylor,
you are.
He's inconsistent sometimes too. So I get it. If you're gonna put anybody there at his position, Matias Rojas would be that guy. Don't put Diego Gomez up there. Put Matias Rojas. Matias Rojas has way better opportunities and way better aggressiveness to be able to play the left wing. Now the only difference is that he can't be able to cross it back to the center of the pitch because then he's going to have to go right-footed instead of left-footed. So that's where I think that at the end of the day, Tata messed up and he thought to himself, well, maybe putting Matias Rojas at the right wing would have been better in terms of aggressiveness because then he would have been able to attack towards his stronger left side when he goes through the middle of the pitch.
Yeah. And like I said, that's just playing devil's advocate. It's just when people say that they blame Tata, it's easy to say that. But I try to think, okay, why would he do that? And that's the reasoning that I came up with. And I kind of understand. Don't love it.
Yeah.
But I kind of understand that,
I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't recognize that he's inconsistent sometimes too. I mean, look, Mr. Krabs is saying, does my wife know that I'm cheating on her? I guess because I love Robert Taylor. Florida man saying he has a restraining order on me. Maybe that's why he didn't sign my shirt when I was in Charlotte. I mean, I guess. But I do recognize, I'm not going to sit here and be oblivious and say that Robert Taylor is the GOAT. But
Does anybody notice that Chris got rid of the Robert Taylor thing in the back of his wall?
Well, because I got my son back there.
Yeah.
My son's the real MVP right there.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts. Get out of here.
Uh-huh.
I already got the mural back there, Mike V.
Yeah.
Again, Robert Taylor, I understand that he's inconsistent. That's fine. Matias Rojas, put him at left wing. But then obviously you're just taking him out of the opportunity of being able to get it towards the middle of the field. That's all you're doing. So
Right. And then Peaches here saying, we've come so far, we don't need Tata attitude back. It was one game.
yes,
And he was trying for something different, which I'm okay with.
this
I
is the
thought
game
this was to try it out.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not blaming this one on Tata. And honestly, I thought that they had a couple opportunities to succeed. Now, if you want to blame him for bringing in Kristoff in the 81st minute,
Oh my God.
but this is the thing. There was a moment, like the 60th minute or something, I saw David Martinez limping. I was like, no fucking way. Already?
I did see that. Yes, I saw that.
I was like, already? Like, I know he has a bad knee and a crazy injury history.
Yeah,
A couple things I was thinking. One, this cannot be happening already.
we're
Two,
poisoned.
if this is gonna happen, it's probably best that it happens right now because then we have to get another center back. Because
Yes,
if this happens in September, transfer window is done and that's it. We're just stuck.
yeah,
But we need to go after another center back. And I know that we got another international spot and everybody's kind of curious what's going to happen with that. Hopefully some news pops up from here to Monday or Tuesday. But yes, that was worrisome when I saw him limping. But he came out in the 81st minute for Kristoff.
I want to talk about Kristoff here.
Let's do it.
Florida Man is saying, don't get me started. Ungodding is saying he single-handedly gave them the win. And that Kristoff is from Ukraine and Tigres share the same colors as their flag. That's what Mr. Krabs is saying, right? So I'm going to tell you guys, I don't believe that it was his fault. I don't believe it was his fault. I believe that he was the only one that lunged.
He made a play on that ball.
Yeah, he's the only one that lunged and made a play on trying to cross it. Now, was the cross good? No, it was awful. But he was the only one that threw himself there, stood up like RoboCop, put his arms in the back of his body, and stayed there. Tried to be a wall. Weigant, who's another person that hustles, slid into the attacker, and it just so happens that it slipped right past Calendar on the near side of the post.
Man, you can't. That wasn't near side. That was like upper 90. There was no way he was gonna get that ball. I don't blame Drake for that one. And
you can't play Kristoff either.
I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle. The chat is killing Kristoff. You are completely forgiving him. I'm gonna be somewhere in the middle. I am glad that he put his foot out to stop that ball, but you have to do more with that breakup because the fact that he just tapped it in front of him and it landed right in that guy's, like it's on him. It's on him. Like that. I don't know how you don't clear it or hit it a little harder. Like the way he just like tapped it in the direction of that player. It's come on, man. But I'm not killing him either because he was the only one that was there to make that play. Even though that's his position, he's playing left center back, so he should be there. But whatever.
Ungodding is saying, Chris, just please watch the replay. I want to tell you guys something. I watched that replay a couple times after the goal happened, and at the end of the game, I cycled back and watched it over and over and over. And Kristoff is the only one that made any impulse to be able to clear the ball.
But like what I just said, Bigote is also saying he's the left center back. He's literally standing where he's supposed to be standing anyway. Like we can't give him that much credit for it.
And now Dennis Lopez is blaming me for the loss. So it was my fault.
He should
that
have
we
cleared
lost.
it. He should have cleared it. I'm not gonna go as crazy as everybody where they're like saying that they broke stuff over it. We're not big Kristoff guys here. We get it, but you know.
Okay,
he should
so
have cleared it.
My question.
I wouldn't blame Drake though. I wouldn't blame Drake on that one. Drake, nobody was getting the hand on that one.
Okay, so my question is, and I mean, I don't know how we can even answer this. If Martinez was in there, would it have been a different outcome?
Maybe he would have cleared it. You should have cleared it. We don't know. All right, well, let's get to okay, so that was the last goal, right? We're talking about the last goal.
Yes.
After that, I mean, game was pretty over. We felt deflated. I thought that they were going to put up a third one, honestly, because it felt like the midfield disappeared. It felt like it was just back and forth at some point. The midfield disappeared, and it was just fast break for us and for them. And I thought that they were eventually going to get a third, honestly. So now my question: game ended 2-1. We're still moving on. My question
Yeah.
for you, David Martinez. What did you think of him now that we saw him for a second game?
Wasn't bad.
Okay.
Wasn't
I didn't
bad.
think he.
Was
I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was that bad either. I
he
thought that
wasn't
he.
great.
I thought he was limping around, but I didn't think he was horrible. I thought Toto Aviles had a very bad game. I thought Redondo did not have a good game. I thought Robert Taylor was a ghost.
I mean, let's look at the starting lineup. Let's bring that up right now. Right? I mean,
Wrong
here
one.
we got. Well, let's let's get
There we
this
go.
one right here. Yeah, Martinez, I thought he was okay. It's scary. It sucks to see him get injured because now we got him. If he
Well, we don't
goes
know if he's
down,
injured, right? Because
I know
he still played like 10, 15 minutes after we saw him limping.
we got Freire. I mean, what at this point we're like depleted at the center back position. Depleted.
So we usually ask this question towards the end, and then we'll take calls. Who was, in your opinion, I hate saying the word the worst. Who would you rate the lowest out of the starting 11?
I think out of the starting 11, the person I would rate the lowest would be Aviles.
Aviles. Okay.
Yeah, Aviles is the person that I would rate the lowest out of this entire starting lineup here.
I would agree with you. I think Redondo's a close second. I thought Redondo had a poor game. But yes, I think Toto Aviles had the worst game. Bad takeaways. He had more than, and not just the one that led to the goal. He had a couple other takeaways where he had to recover the ball back because he gave it away to the defender in a dangerous position.
Yeah.
So let's take this graphic off. Mr. Krabs keeps killing me about the David Martinez head. I'm gonna have to actually make a good graphic for David Martinez. Mr. Krabs is way too observant here.
And I think the best one. No, go ahead. You were gonna say something. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting you. My fault.
No. No, tell me who your best was.
The best, I mean, I think everybody can be able to agree with me on 3. Everybody in the chat, go ahead and write down the last name of the player that you thought played the best and watch it flood in. I'll give it like 3 seconds so the delay just goes by. And I'll say it with everyone at the same time. The player that I think that played the best all game is Bright.
Yep. And there they come. Bright. Yep. Everybody agrees. Bright. and I will second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth that. I agree. I think it was Bright.
I mean, Bright was decent. Lopez, what are we doing?
I thought Bright played very well. The gentleman Wake, real quick, $4.99. Appreciate you. He actually gave us what his ideal 11 would be if everybody's healthy. You tell me if you agree with this. Suarez, Messi, Gomez, I'm assuming up top. I already don't like, because I don't like Gomez up top. Redondo, Bright, and Rojas in the middle. Okay, so maybe Rojas left wing and Gomez in the middle. Okay, so we're back. Okay, I'm okay with it again. All right. And then Alba, Martinez, Busi, and Frey with Calendar and goal. I don't like Busi at center back.
I think that he's putting Busi at center back because he's been decently better than other center backs. But I think he's also doing that because he wants to maintain Busi as a starter. He wants to avoid the problem that we're having that we're going to discuss in the next episode.
Yeah, because Busi, Redondo, and Gomez, you almost feel like those 3 should be locked into the midfield.
Yes.
But now Bright cannot be denied. So now you got 4 players, 3 spots. Interesting situation. A good problem to have, somebody would say, right?
Yes. I mean, the only other thing I can think of, though, Danny, is what if they play Campana before the goal?
That's a great point. I told you, I didn't think Campana had a good game. But because all of a sudden he ends up on the goal sheet, you kind of forget about it, right? Mm-hmm. And then those 10 minutes he had where all of a sudden he was balling. But before that goal, he should have gotten subbed off. It's just we have nobody to put in the spot.
Well, now let me ask you this question. What if we were to, instead of having 4 in the back, have 3 and have just a lone center back there?
What?
Like, for example, have 1 center back there, right? Okay. Instead of 2 center backs.
Okay. 1 center
back. And then
back.
have Busquets and Bright next to each other with Redondo a little bit higher.
So you essentially want Busquets and Bright to play center back?
Somewhat, but not like center back with my air quotes.
I mean, nobody on this team plays center back, right? Because they play such a high line.
Yes.
So what you want is a 3-4-3 where
Everybody's
you have
disagreeing with me already.
okay.
I'm
No,
lost.
but I kind of see what Chris is saying. I don't love it, but he wants three in the back, a 3-4-3, um, where it's Bright Busquets and I'm assuming Toto Aviles as your center
I'm gonna
backs.
I'm gonna build the lineup. Guys, this is where you could see my growth in this sport. I'm literally killing Danny as we speak with my ideas. This is why
Look
I
at
can
Mike.
never
He said
coach a
we can't
soccer
defend
team.
with two, and you want.
That was a good one, Mike. That was a good
We
one.
can't defend with
Bigote
two, and
likes
he.
it.
So what? Let's take a step back. Chris doesn't want one center back. What he wants is three center backs. He just doesn't want three traditional center backs. He wants Toto
Correct.
Aviles,
Yes.
the traditional center back, and then he wants Busquets and Bright to be
A little
flanking them on the
higher.
left and right side. Right, but that's how we play anyway. And then he wants the wing backs. And okay, so that's more or less what I think Chris is trying to say.
Guys, I'm literally bringing earth-shattering ideas to this sport.
And let's be very clear. Okay, I'm gonna give Chris some credit here. Chris, back in like April or May, when we really hadn't seen much of Bright, Chris said,
I birthed
Bright
him.
Bright has looked pretty good when I've seen him. We should put him at center back. Now he was off about the center back thing, right? Obviously he's a little short for center back, and he's playing center defensive midfield. But he's been calling for Bright since like April, and now everybody loves Bright. So I'm gonna go out here and give Chris some flowers since everybody's cutting him for the one center back comment. But he has been calling for Bright since about April.
Look at E. He's on one right now. Okay. He's on one. Guys, listen, I'm cooking right now. Like Mr. Florida man, it's not that my ideas won't hurt an ant. My ideas will keep us undefeated.
Look, everybody thought that total football was crazy, right? When the Dutch were doing it. And look, Chris might be revolutionizing the game. We'll see.
Literally birthing an idea.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat if anybody wants to call in, and because we're just about to wrap it up here. Chris, anything else that you want to say about the game before we take calls and then right out of here?
I think again, and before I say my comment, my V is saying Chris, Bright is great. Also, Chris, Jamaica's winning Copa America. Listen, is there something wrong? I believe that Jamaica was a good team. Okay. Maybe I took a flyer a little too far for Jamaica, but I thought that they would have been pretty good. So
wasn't it Jamaica, Costa Rica in the final for you? Wasn't that?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was smoking that day.
All right. So while
you want to introduce this one, well, you can do this.
Yeah. I'll introduce the first caller. Before I do, if you haven't already, please do us a favor, hit the like button. It actually helps us more than you would probably realize. So if you could do us that favor. All right. So here we go. Chris is a curse. He joins us. What's going on? Chris is a curse.
First off, Danny, vaping is not good for you. Put that away.
What was it?
Is that a vape in your hand? Put that away.
No, it's a walkie-talkie, man.
Oh, my bad.
Nice.
I don't.
It did look like a vape. I thought it was a vape, but now I'm like, Danny doesn't smoke. So
no. It's a walkie-talkie.
Anyway, yes. Thank you for taking the call. My name is Chris is a curse. Thank you. You know what? I mean, I guess we're all pretty. I guess the loss was disappointing, but at the same time, we already moved on. So I would imagine that Tata would just put on the scrub. But exactly. I don't know. Both goals were kind of I guess. Well, I don't know if BS is the word, but it really sucks how the first goal, like a volley or whatever. That was honestly kind of bad. But I guess no goalie, not even the best goalkeeper in the world is saving that. So,
well, it was unfortunate.
You know how we were criticizing Julian Gressel? Not criticizing him, but we said that he didn't look great in the midfield, right? He would look better right way. I thought that he had a beautiful created opportunity towards the end of the second half, where he kicked the ball right up the gut, and Campana just couldn't get his foot on it before it got to the goalie. I thought if that's Luis Suarez eats that up. Julian Gresso, beautiful pass.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. All right. Okay. And then again, Chris, again, you cursed Robert Taylor. My gosh. No wonder he hasn't scored for $3 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's why I hit it for a little bit.
Yeah, $3.
So,
Donate it to charity, bro. Why are you gambling or betting?
I'm gonna give it to Danny. He'll do something better with it.
Okay,
yes.
okay, yeah, okay. Thanks so much, guys. Peace.
All right, man.
Much
Thanks a lot for joining
appreciated.
us.
I will try not to be a curse anymore. I promise.
I can't believe people thought that this was a vape. This is a walkie-talkie, people.
No, I had a feeling it was a walkie-talkie.
I don't smoke.
Yeah. I thought, look, I feel the same way as Chris is a curse. I honestly thought that this was a throwaway game. I thought that this was a throwaway game. I thought that this was like looking ahead. Guys, again, if you guys want to go ahead and call in, go ahead and follow the link that we put in the chat. So that way we can be able to kind of get your opinion. So,
all right, our next caller, we got Chris Tactics joining us. What's going on, Chris Tactics?
I think we should play with no strikers at all. Only put in defenders and midfielders. Our midfielders are the ones that score anyway. So let's just put in all midfielders, 5 in the defense, and then we can put Jensen in the goal. And then we have a winning team. Because we got to try him out. We got to try him out at some point.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
I believe that.
Chris, what is that you call him? Junior Dos what?
Junior CJ Dos Striker.
The striker. There you go.
CJ Dos Salsa.
Or if that doesn't work, then we just do all strikers. Just everybody's a striker.
Well,
And then we can have only Kristoff in the back.
Well,
Because he's really good.
Well, the fact that Chris wants to play with just one center back is just wild to me. But I mean, look, like I said, there's been other tactics that people think that are crazy, and look, you never know. Maybe he's revolutionizing the game.
Okay, I'll be back next time with more awesome pro tips.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chris Tactics.
All right. Now here we go.
I kind of think I know who that is, but I won't take a guess.
Here we go. We got Chris with a CH. I like it on the phone. What's going on, Chris?
Yo, can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I got two things. I think Matias Rojas looked great this game. I think this is a great game he had. Chris, I know you think he played bad, but I really believe he had a great game today.
I do also. And I was looking, and both teams combined, the player that had the most big chances created, Matias Rojas.
He's a very aggressive player. He's a very good aggressive player on offense for sure. Can't take that away.
And then second thing, I think Redondo today didn't look that great. I think right now, I think Bright has it over him for the starting spot.
Oh, for sure. For sure. That goes without saying. Absolutely. I mean, Chris, even though your name starts with a CH, you're on the money, my friend. I don't know about that. Maybe Danny will agree with you.
I do. Chris only likes his name with the K because he's a Karen.
Oh, man. Look at this guy.
All right.
Thank you so much,
Chris, man.
CH.
Thank you.
Chris with a CH.
Yeah, I can get behind what Chris was saying. I do think that Bright right now is playing better than Redondo, and he's probably earned that spot.
Yes, absolutely. So we go to another call, guys, and we got I am Jekka waiting to get on. What's going on, Jekka?
Oh, well, I think you have to put her on, buddy.
Hold on, let me take off. I mean, she's unmuted.
Oh, there, I got it. Yeah, I got you.
Can you hear
What's
me
up,
or not?
Jekka? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh, cool. How are you guys?
Good. Awesome.
First of all, I wanted to say thank you to Chris for keeping your promise and sending me all the stuff, the goodies. I really appreciate it, man. That was great. It was good time to do that. I will tell you, I went to watch today's game. So I kind of had to take a break from soccer a little bit, from football a little bit after the Copa America because it was just too much, man, emotionally sometimes.
Absolutely.
Feel that.
Soccer just kills you. But I And I don't think we played bad today at all. I will tell you, I'm very curious as to how we're going to implement Messi back in. Because the team is doing really well. I'm obsessed with Messi. I love Messi. I want Messi to play always. I'm just saying, I'm very impressed of what I've been seeing lately with this team. Um, and I'm just very curious as to how Messi is going to come back into play. Um, and so I wanted to hear that from you guys. What do you guys think is going to happen when he comes back, and how do you guys think it's going to affect it? Because at the end of the day, like I said, I adore Messi, but even what we saw in the Copa America, you have to make up. Like you have to have a team willing to make up the speed and the what he's not going to do, which is run back. It's something that DePaul will do for him, something that anyone in Argentina is willing to do. But I'm just curious as to what you guys think is going to happen. And then the second part is, yeah, the feeling came back, man. I hate seeing Miami lose. I get so angry, and I don't know. To all my Mexican people out there, I love you all, but when it comes to soccer, I cannot stand losing to a Mexican team. I don't know what it is, but
well, I'll tell you this much, Jekka. I do understand your point in terms of with Messi coming back because the pace will be very different. And Danny, I don't know if you could agree, but I mean, it's a hell of a great problem to have when we get Messi back. I mean, the only person I really feel bad for is going to be Gressel, to be honest. I think that's where things are going to change for us. No, Danny?
Well, I think one of the big changes is defensively because at the moment, you saw Campana constantly playing in that defensive side, defensive final third. You saw Gressel back there. You saw just about everybody back there. Once Messi and Suarez both get back, you now are playing defense with essentially 8 players, right? Not 9 because you count the goalie. So you're playing defense with 8 players at that point. Yeah. So that is where the adjustment comes. And that's where you need Diego Gomez and Bright to kind of blow up those offensive opportunities for the other team. I think Gomez and Bright, they're together. I think they dominate a midfield. They don't allow other teams to create in the midfield. And I think that's why it's necessary to have Bright out there. Gomez is going to be – it's huge that we get to keep until December. But, I mean, offensively, it's great, right? Offensively, great that Messi comes back because it's like a lot of magic. But I think defensively, where we've improved, I think we're going to start taking a step back again.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I was wondering mainly, too, with the Leagues Cup because – at the end of the day, the one thing where I think we fail, it goes back to some of the teams that we play against, especially when we're playing against a Mexican team, is that pace. And I really do feel like that's where we fall. And I mean, today, look, I'm Ecuadorian, half Uruguayan, and I can tell you when it comes to watching Suarez and Campana, I get very happy. But man, like, we lost that game. We lost that game up there. That's where we lost the game because if you don't score, it doesn't matter that you're playing better. If you don't score, you're gonna lose. And it's kind of. I almost brought something up. I'm not gonna bring it up because I don't want to. Anyway, going back, it's kind of like what we saw with Colombia, the Copa America.
Yeah, it could be.
and it's just so that's the only part where I say I don't know if we could do Messi and Suarez. And as much as they're amazing combination, like with both of them, we are losing that pace. Because Suarez, you guys saw the same thing. He's great, amazing. I mean, he went like I want to see him play all the time too, but he can't. Like his knee is a mess. It's a mess.
Well,
and I'll drop off, by the way, while you guys answer that. I'll drop off to let somebody else on. Okay, fine.
Awesome, Jekka. Thank you so much for. No, thank you so much for calling the program.
You guys are awesome. Like I've been telling my brothers, I was like, dude, just start watching these things because you guys are awesome. I really, really look forward to watching you guys after the game.
Thank you, Jekka, so much.
Appreciated.
Yes, thank you so much.
And so what she was saying, I think that you can't take them off. Like it's impossible. Luis Suarez and Messi have to be there because offensively, how many goals did they have combined? And they've played a lot less than everybody else, right? They stopped playing with us at the end of May, and they each have double-digit goals. Like you can't take them off. Everybody's gonna have to just adjust accordingly around them. So this might be our last caller. Chris Taylor is on the phone. What's going on, Chris Taylor?
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Hey, so we've been talking a lot about different players that have been causing issues, but I think we keep getting distracted by Cello. Cello, for his foot mob scores, so he's 1 for 6 with the duels won on the ground, and then he's 0 for 3 on successful dribbles in the attack. He's the second lowest rating player on foot mob next to Robert Taylor, and I know, Chris, you love Robert Taylor, but
Yes.
I still feel like he significantly outperformed Cello, because Cello is just absolutely terrible whenever it comes to the attack. And I do understand to the extent of why Tata is not playing Frey, but I think we need to see more of him.
I agree with you where Wagon, sorry, Chris, where Wagon offensively doesn't give you anything. Yedlin used to give you more offensively just because of his pace, and he would get the ball up to the final third quicker. So I felt like there's a difference, right? With Yedlin, you get more offensive. With Cello, you get more defensive. The issue I have is that Frey gives you both.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Why is Ian Frey not seeing the pitch? I think, and I hate doing this because I try to defend Tata as much as possible, but I think it's abundantly clear that there is a South American bias with Tata, because there's absolutely no other reason as to why Ian Frey isn't starting at right back every single game over Cello.
Absolutely.
And that's my opinion. I have no idea if that's the case, but there's no other explanation to me, because from what I see on the pitch, Ian Frey balls out every single time, both on the offensive side and defensive side. Whereas Yedlin would lack defensively and Cello lacks offensively. So I just don't get it.
And not only that, though, your point, Chris Taylor, which I think I know who you really are, but I'll tell you, Cello has been lucky enough to be flying under the radar this whole time, that he's quietly been trashy and no one really cares.
No, he's not trashy. He's good defensively.
I'm talking about
maybe today he didn't have a great game, but
I'd give him like a mid defensively, not even great defensively.
I would be like, if this is average, I'd give him slightly above average. I don't think he's great, but he's better than Yedlin was. He was an upgrade defensively from Yedlin.
Yeah, 100%, but not Frey level though. Like
no, man.
I get Tata playing it close to the chest, but at the end of the day, today was an example of like what not to do in Tata's head, and switching Gressel and Rojas. That was what not to do, and then putting Cello in there instead of Frey every time is also what not to do.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree. And maybe, do you think it has anything to do with his health? You maybe think he's bringing him along slowly? Because I mean, this is his third ACL injury, right? Do you think he in some ways he's bringing him along slowly? I'm trying to convince myself that maybe that's what it is, because if it's strictly what we've seen on the pitch, Frey over Cello all day.
I think he's actually hoping that he stays healthy enough so that way he could finally play with Messi, since he lost the opportunity of playing a full game with Messi.
I don't think that's just driven.
I know it's just me gas bagging.
Yeah, it's a good sentiment. He did go out at the game that Messi did play and come in, so it would be a touching sentiment, but at what expense to our own? So it would be kind of stupid. And the last thing I would take Afonso in striker over Campana any day.
You know, I think that's a conversation. Listen, Chris Taylor, you're on the money, because that's a conversation that I think no one is ready to have right now. Look at that! Look at you scoring, bro.
The thing is, Afonso had that big play. I forgot what game was that he scored that. It was a game winner at the end of the game, and he's looked pretty good. Union? Was it the Philadelphia Union?
Mm-hmm. The 9 players versus 11 or
yes,
versus
yeah, that's
11,
right, that's right, yes, right,
yeah.
And yes, it was that game, and I think he's looked okay, but I don't want to overhype him either. I haven't seen him consistently do, like, he hasn't looked like Frey level good. He hasn't looked like who else has that just randomly came out? Oh, Bright. He hasn't looked like Bright. He's looked okay, but to say that you would put him as striker over Campana, I mean, I guess.
I feel like in the less amount of time that he plays, more people say his name than Campana in a full 90.
But that's because he's not playing striker. When you're playing in the midfield or out in the wing, you get the ball a lot more. So you get to contribute a lot more. When you're playing up in striker, you're kind of dependent on service unless you drop back to look for the ball. So I think that might have a lot to do with it also.
Yes.
Could be.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
But Chris Taylor, appreciate the name and the call because it was fun.
Listen, the names have been on fire today. Dennis Lopez has said it. Caller ID has been fire today.
Yeah, when I saw the names, I was like, you know what, I got to put these things up.
And just so you guys know, as you call, you could turn the mic off, you could turn the camera off or leave the camera on. You could change your own name when you sign in, so that's really cool. But I think that was really good calls out of you guys today. You guys were on fire.
I think that's about it for today. Chris, do you have any final words?
Listen, this was a look ahead game. We're off to Thursday, so let's get everybody's healthy, thankfully. Hopefully nothing's wrong with Martinez, and let's look forward to Thursday and let's get this.
Oh, and then I just wanted to say one quick thing before I get off here. A lot of people keep saying to hold off on buying tickets to the day off so that you could buy it for like $14, $15. The tickets aren't going to be as cheap as they were last time. And let me kind of just try to explain to people what's going on. Last time, everybody purchased the tickets beforehand, right?
Yes.
Because Messi was playing, Leagues Cup tickets were all purchased. So the tickets that you saw for $14, $15, $16 were all in the secondary market because they already had the tickets. They were trying to figure out how to make some money off of it. Nobody bought these tickets. So there isn't really a secondary market for it.
Ticketmaster is going to be selling them at the Ticketmaster price.
Right. That's the price. So you're
going to get Ticketmastered big time.
So you might get some people that maybe automatically purchased it or purchased it in hopes of maybe selling it or something. So maybe you might see some tickets that are kind of low, but for you to expect $14, $15 tickets like last time in abundance, it is absolutely not happening. So if that's what you're holding up, I'm not telling you to go ahead and purchase the tickets right now. That's not what I'm doing at all. I'm just saying don't get your hopes up on the $14, $15 tickets because that's just not happening.
And shout out to Pace Hunter. I'm always sportive. I'm always good with that. No problem. You guys, I love having fun with you guys. El Bigote is saying section 124, row 1, seat 7. See you boys Thursday. I'm not going to be here Thursday. And I think that's our seats, if I'm not mistaken. I think my seats are 7 and 8.
Oh, he's sitting in your seat.
Yeah, you're sitting in my seat. You're actually sitting in my seat, Bigote.
It's literally your seat.
That is literally my seat, Bigote. So you're going to enjoy it for sure. I'm going to be in Disney on Thursday. So,
and my wife is 9.5 months pregnant, so I will not be going to any games. I probably won't even be going to the games at the end of August either, because by then I should be a father of 3. So we'll see. So
it's a beautiful thing, guys.
Yes. All right. Now let me say it again because I don't remember what you said last time. Any final words?
Just looking forward to Thursday's game. It's gonna be fun to see, and Bigote, I wish I was sitting next to you, but you'll be catching up probably with Solana.
I'm sorry, I need to ask you a quick question.
Yeah,
my wife just texted me laughing because I said 9.5 months. Me and her had a back and forth today because I said it's dumb that she always says the weeks. She's like, oh, it's 37, 38 weeks. I'm like, just say 9 months, 9.5 months. Like, would you say the months or the weeks?
I'm a dude. I'd say the months, but I know that like
we're men.
I think it's because we're men. We do months, but I think generally it's spoken as weeks. So I got to give her that. That generally it's spoken weeks worth, not months worth.
Whatever, man. Me and her got into it about it. I was like, this is so silly.
I think you lost.
I think you probably did lose. Yeah, it sounds like I lost. It's all right. Yeah. And Scott Carey saying, what about the podcast? Well, Thursday he'll be in Disney. I'll be at home, right? Unless my wife ends up giving birth that day or the day before, I should be home. So I'll probably be doing the post game, probably with Solana. And then Wednesday we'll be doing a preview show. If it's Toronto, we'll get Italy Jet on. If it's Pachuca, I'm gonna try my hardest to figure out somebody to preview the game on with Wednesday, and then Monday, regular stuff. Tuesday, probably Cafecito with the Herons in the morning, and then Battered MLS show at nighttime, and we'll keep it rocking. I'll probably put out like a schedule or something.
Yeah.
So just
I think that would be cool.
Yeah. All right. And then Florida Man said the wife is always right. Yep, for sure. All right. That's it. I got nothing else. Yeah, that's it. I'm good. And shout out to I Am Jekka. We appreciate the support. It's definitely because you're a man. It's weeks. All right, fine. I'll take the L.
You lost,
all right.
bro.
If you are listening on audio, we appreciate you listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5 stars, comment, review, all that other good stuff. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Let them know. There's another MLS show. We are the Inter Miami show, right? I feel like
yes,
we should be.
Yes, we are the Inter Miami show. I mean, come on.
So tell everybody, if you want to listen to Miami talk, holla at your boys. And as always, for those of you in the chat, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. As always, you guys are the best part of the show. We'll be back on Monday talking some Yannick Bright, talking some Alfonso at striker, and anything else in between. So please get in with us on 9 o'clock on Monday to talk about all that stuff. And until the next one, have a good one.